Special School Committee meeting of June 29th, 2022. We'll begin with our Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. I'd like to read the Danvers Public Schools mission statement. Danvers Public Schools is a dynamic community of independent learners dedicated to respect, responsibility, creativity, and the pursuit of academic and personal excellence. This meeting is being broadcast on Danvers Community Access Television. Is anyone in the audience recording the meeting? No. Okay. Right, so we'll get right into the agenda. Gabe Lopes is on his way, and we'll do some housekeeping type work first, I think. So I'm going to go to information from the superintendent, Mary Wormus.
Great, good morning.
Good morning.
I am today, just wanted to give you a quick update that we have our new webpage. We've added to our webpage some work on improving school culture and climate. So as part of the Attorney General's letter and our response to it, when we sent out the email, we said by the end of the school year, we would have this page up and running. And this page really highlights the work that we've done over the last months to address our school culture and climate. So if you look at the webpage, we just do a little intro paragraph. Then we have 3 tabs. And the first one is safe and supportive schools and classrooms. So the work we've done with that. Then if you click on, if you look down, we've done identity work. We talked about the Holocaust Symposium, and we've kind of color-coded our work. So we have at the beginning is the blue, which is the work we did this year, and then the green is how we're going to move into the next school year and build on that work. So it's not a one and done kind of activity. Any of these activities are not one and done. They move on and they grow. So I think you'll see all the work that we've done on the safe and supportive schools. And then if you come back up, you can go over to a new tab, Improving Athletic Culture. So then if you go here, you can see the work that we did with Northeastern University, with the MIAA, and then the students athletes that went out to the field days to work with our elementary school students. And you can see the great banners that the students created. So even the Danvers High Art students went over to each elementary school and they created a banner. And these banners will be there on the first day of school at Holton Richmond to welcome the new 6th graders in. And then finally, the last tab is Student Voice. And that tab really highlights the work that each of our student clubs did at the high school this year. And all these we have many student clubs. The clubs we highlighted here really worked on school culture and climate and to improve that. So again, it's the blue is what we did, and then the green is how we're going to build on it on each one of those. So that's our website, and we'll continue to build it. We will be adding a little bit from Holton Richmond they have a few student clubs that did some work as well around improving school culture and climate, so we'll add that in as well.
All right, questions for Superintendent Worms?
I like that you added the next steps because I think that's helpful for the community. You know, some of the questions that we often get asked, so now it lays it out. Yeah. You know, we didn't just check it off. We're still doing it. This is what we've done, and this is what we're going to continue to do.
Exactly.
So, yeah, I think that's definitely the best outcome out of this is the fact that we have a place for community members, students, caregivers to go to access this information, because I think that's where the biggest frustration was because they couldn't find it. They didn't think it was happening. So the fact that we have a place now makes sense. So great, thank you for doing this.
Yes.
And so this is under Danvers Public Schools, just so folks know that we have the links to, but Danvers Public Schools, then you go to communications, and then we have several things, including priorities, a lot on the communications regarding this, and then school committee recaps. So everybody will be able to find this pretty easily.
Right, so right under, when you go to communications, in the middle part where it says communications, the first thing says improving school culture and climate. You click on that, you'll get to the web, that web page.
Yeah, we might, I haven't looked at the website yet, but the easier people can get to this particular part of the site, the better, I would say.
Right.
And of course, I'm assuming it'll be continually updated as we get more information, do more activities, so that it should be sort of a living reflection of what we're doing.
Will be. Well, and we're meeting later on today as administrative team, and we're going to be taking the next steps and making sure that they align with the goals that we're putting in our school improvement plans and our district plan that we'll present to you in August.
Great. All right. Let's continue on with the information from the superintendent on the HRMS 8th grade civics projects.
Great, thanks. So a week ago Tuesday, our 8th grade students presented to the select board, and I have to say they did an amazing. There were 4 amazing presentations by our students. We were very proud of the work that they did and really showed their maturity. So the 4 presentations were their projects, which was condoning for a late start time. So we might be hearing from them as they move into the high school. The second one was school lunch, improving school lunches. The third one was a block party to be held in July. And the fourth one was bringing back home economics to the middle school exploratories, which I was impressed with the amount of research they really were able to do and how much they understood about the school schedule and some of the constraints that would make it more difficult for that to happen. And they really were able to create solutions. Like they say, they knew what some of the challenges were going to be, but they said, but we could do it this way instead. So they gave some solutions to the challenges. So that was great. But the one I want to focus on is the block party, because I think it's July 27th was the date that they were looking at to do the block party in downtown. Mm-hmm. And the select board had a longer conversation about it because they needed to vote to approve it. So I think in the end, the vote was to with Steve Bartha and Jen Breaker's help, that they would give approval for the students to move forward with the project, so long as the 2 of them were helping. So I think Jen Breaker is in the process of setting up a meeting with the students and any other adults that are interested in working with them. And I think, Eric, you might have some more information.
Well, only that it's very reminiscent of the Oldies Night that Family Festival used to do. And it does take some, logistics to put it together depending on what they're thinking about. But I do know, having talked with a couple of other board members from the Family Festival, that we're interested in talking with the students too and seeing if there's a way we can help out. So there will be discussions about it. It's still sort of an ambitious timeline to put something like this together this quickly, but it doesn't mean it can't be done. So there's I think, a general support among the selectmen. And I think that as long as enough people in town help out, maybe we can pull this off. And it'd be kind of a nice celebration after several years of not being able to do anything.
Yeah.
So,
yeah. Good, and I also really want to thank Steve Bartha and Jen Breaker for all their work. They came over and did a mini Citizens Academy for the all 8th graders, and they really presented, each town department and how town government works. It really gave the students a stronger understanding. They also had people helping them with ideas for some of these projects. So they gave a list of ideas. The kids kind of picked it or even made it their own. Like they might have had a nugget of idea from an adult, but they really took it on themselves. So I really appreciate all the work that Jen and Steve did.
Yeah, I mean, I received something from one of the groups in terms of the late school start.
Yeah.
And or later school start, particularly for high school students, middle school students. And of course, the logistics behind that are very complex, and you have collective bargaining agreements and everything else. So, but I like that they're taking the initiative with these civics. We've always talked about we need more civics education, and the state has got this project-based way of trying to have us teach civics. So it's great to see the students stepping up and showing interest.
Right, and then in this year, I was just very impressed with all the civics projects the kids did from the middle school and at the high school level. So it's been great to see in the early days of implementing the civics curriculum to see such good projects. So.
Questions, comments, thoughts?
Is there a way for the public to see some of these presentations? Was there PowerPoints?
If they go to the to DCAT, there's a link to the select board meeting. That was I can't remember I think it was the 22nd of June. Was that
that sounds right.
The June 22nd. So if you look, there's a live feed. They're the very first part of the meeting, so it's not even hard to find them. It's right after.
And then if the students want to continue the conversation about things that affect the school committee, like home ec, are they invited to?
Oh, please reach out to us
and have those types of conversations and
all very open to it. Yes.
Yeah, I'm interested in the fact that they came up with solutions to that, because the obvious issue, I think, is whether or not the buildings are whether we could now we moved all the stuff out years ago before the buildings are reconstructed. And the question becomes, how do we reconfigure things to put a logical, like a working kitchen, that sort of thing in there. But it's an interesting idea to talk about, yeah?
Right, for that, they suggested that we look at there's 3 teachers' rooms at the Holt Richmond and look at the kitchen area in one of the teacher rooms.
Yeah.
Because they have refrigerator sinks and all that, so that was
That's great. Hey, who knows? We shouldn't say no to anything without thinking about it. So
Right,
that's
exactly.
I didn't even know they would know what home ec was.
Good. You didn't know there was
Well,
no?
no, I didn't know that they would know what that was.
Oh, yeah, I know. It's
because
been-
It wasn't probably.
Yeah.
I
We
think
probably
it's
didn't really ever have it.
Yeah, and
it's
it
well
wasn't,
more than 10
and
years.
it wasn't
that
just
we
limited to
continued.
cooking and like sewing, like we all knew it was.
Yeah.
And it was like they understood the finance skills that we would need. So there were 3 categories, and some were like the cooking, sewing, but then there was first aid and first response to kind of emergency, and then also finance. So it's really like important life skills. Yeah. So
Okay.
okay.
Do we have items of interest from the school committee? No, the only thing I would say is I just want to compliment Mary and Adam and your staff and thank the DPW. The service for Wayne Marquis last week was, the school looked great, and it was a terrific service. And I know that DPW worked with the schools to put the facility together in a great shape for it. And it really, really was very touching and well done. So compliments to you all and whatever part you had in putting that together.
It was a lot of Lee Faulkner and Mark Wright really
Yeah.
stepped up and coordinated that.
I see Gabe jogging toward the door.
Eric, I actually do have one question, if that's okay.
Yes.
Did the survey go out to 8th grade families?
It did,
Okay. Are we
yes.
talking? I just was more curious about that it did go out.
Yeah. Yeah, Madam.
Okay.
Oh, there we go.
Yeah, it was. It's been good data that we've been looking at.
Yeah, so we did
We have data.
Oh yeah.
we did an exit survey. We did an exit survey to families who made a choice other than Danvers High School. That went out to every family that we had that did make that selection. We've gotten a good amount of responses, so I'm letting it run for a bit, and then we'll take a look at it and use that to help think about any adjustments that we might make. But part of the survey was also the option to, if they wanted to have a more personalized meeting or a phone call, we're available to do that. No one selected that, but we're happy to do that if there's a family out there that wants to help us, continue to improve the experience here.
So we just sent it to students who did not choose.
Yeah, we felt like that was the group that we wanted to target and get a better understanding of what choices people are making, and to see if there are things that we could adjust here so that perhaps they'd make, in the future, other families might be able to make a different choice.
Are we anyhow capturing the data, the students that applied to Essex Tech and did not get into Essex Tech at all? Just more out of curiosity in terms of.
So Essex Tech doesn't really reject anyone. They just put everyone on the wait list. So it's hard to know, and they change their list throughout the summer. So it's hard to get really clear, transparent data from them around their admissions policies or around who they're taking. So, we did our best to target, everyone. We do have good data on who made a different choice, and we got, I'd say, probably, I'd have to look at the exact numbers, but we got a good chunk, a usable size that I think we can, take some
30.
impressions from that and think about what we're doing.
Do we have a trend at all in terms of the number of students that are going elsewhere at this point? Like, is it on track as typical
It looked pretty.
years?
So it looked pretty consistent to me. I didn't see any major spikes. The numbers are pretty similar to last year.
Okay.
Private school numbers are pretty similar. I didn't see anything that was really different than what we've seen over the last, I'd say, couple years.
Great.
So we'll continue to watch it. And I think in general, enrollment numbers are down across the country.
Yep.
People are exploring a lot of different options. So we'll continue to monitor it and look at it. But we're happy to take that feedback. It was a chance for another conversation with people.
Great. Thank you.
The 8th grade guidance counselor, Christine Purcell, was able to do, of the students that were accepted to Essex Tech, or other places and decided to stay at Danvers
Yes,
High
that's
School.
right.
She kind of had conversations with them. So what was really interesting was that our arts program really stood out, and that's why they stayed. To come to Danvers High, that's one of the bigger reasons was because to participate in our arts program. So that was very, nice to see, and just really congratulate Alex Grover and Jeff Daniels for building a strong program.
Great, thank you.
All right, anyone else? No. Okay. So let's move on to, let's do new business policy next, and we'll save the central office material for last.
Okay. So so I don't know if I need the formal, like the interim superintendent recommends an adjustment to our homeless students policy. So DESE has made changes through the ESSER program that this one category of students that are not considered homeless anymore, and that would be the students awaiting foster care placement. So we have that on as part of our policy. So what I'm asking is that we strike that number 5. If you click on the link, number 5 in our policy, the awaiting foster care placement as a reason, as a criteria for being a homeless student.
Okay. All right, and so that's the only change to the policy?
Yeah, that's the only change.
Okay, this is for first reading?
Yes.
Technically, okay. So do I have a motion to approve the proposed policy change for first reading?
So moved.
Second.
We have a motion, we have a second. Is there any discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, none, carries. All right, so let's move on to the discussion regarding central office.
Great. So I will be presenting my contract to you.
I didn't know if there was anything else you wanted to talk about, what's happening.
Oh, sure. Yeah, so we ended school for on the 24th, which was exciting that we made it to the end of the school year,
There you go.
and the kids all did great. And so we have ended that school year. So this summer, I feel like it's the building of our central office team as we transition, as you are doing the search committee for the new superintendent. So on Tuesday, we're going to welcome Kim Bevins to be our human resource director. So that starts to build up. I'm going to be very excited to have her on as we're in high hiring season in Danvers. And then we also have Pam Crum as our finance person in the office. So that's really helping in central office. So, and then moving forward, as Adam has been here, he's at working on the operations end. So Adam's been out to 2 elementary schools already this summer and taking a look around. We've been out yesterday. Adam and I went to Riverside, and the day before he went to Thorpe School. So we're kind of looking at the elementary schools and seeing the repairs that are needed, looking at space and seeing, making sure we're maximizing the use of space in those buildings.
Great. Sounds good. And Adam, thank you for stepping up and taking on some extra work and helping us keep the machine and the wheels running here.
Yeah.
So, thanks, Mary. So we do have 2 contract amendments regarding Mary to deal. One is that would extend the term as acting superintendent of schools through June 30th, 2022, tomorrow. So could I have a motion and a second, hopefully, on that?
So moved.
Second.
We have a motion, we have a second. Is there any discussion? Hearing none. All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Aye. It carries 5-0. The other motion I'll need is on the acting superintendent's contract. I have a motion to allow me to sign on behalf of the committee.
So moved.
Second.
We have a motion, we have a second. Is there any discussion? Hearing none. All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? None. Carries. Thank you. Then we have a second contract amendment, which will take place and run for the period of July 1st, 2022 to June 30th, 2022. And this will be to appoint and Ms. Wormers for the interim superintendent for the next school year. And again, I think we all know that's subject to what happens with the superintendent search. We've talked about that. The contract calls for a salary of $190,000, and that's altogether not in addition to the current contract. So with that, could I have a motion to approve this contract?
So moved.
Second.
We have a motion, we have a second. Is there any discussion? Hearing none. All those in favor, please say aye. Aye. Opposed, none. And then I need a motion again to allow me to sign on behalf of the committee.
So moved.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Well, I'm sorry. Is there any discussion? Hearing none. All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Aye. It's a vote. All right, so I will sign these. Mary, I think everybody agrees that we have every confidence in what this next coming year will look like. You've got a plan in place, and this will allow us to go about the superintendent search, knowing that the school is running the way it should, and hopefully not missing a beat. And we're here to support you in any way we can.
All right, thank you.
While we're talking about that, is there any update from the superintendent search committee in terms of your activities?
We hope to have our search consultant signed up by end of week.
Excellent. If you need anything from us to make that happen, let us know.
Yes, thank you.
All right. That's all the business we have on the agenda. Can I have our next meeting would be in second Monday in August, correct?
No,
All right.
August 22nd. So it would be-
22nd.
Remember, we start a little later because our school year.
That's right,
starts,
that's
so.
right, that's right. All right, so with that, I'll take a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Is there a second? Okay, we have a motion and a second. All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Thank you, and have a good summer, Danvers.